Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Moose the Mental Mechanic, author of the book Forever Fearless, and today we have a special guest, and that is Dr. Lesley.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lesley, you are specifically a doctor of
acupuncture and Chinese medicine.
Awesome, which is crazy because I really don't know anyone else who has that, those credentials in that regard. Now, the thing with that is the fact that obviously you mentioned that you had also gone to China.
Yes, I studied in China in 2010 in Shanghai.
Crazy.
At the Shuang Hospital. It was amazing. Teacher took about 20 of us there, and we flew out there and learned some Chinese medicine and acupuncture.
That's
amazing.
Amazing and very unique. You know,
yeah.
What in your mind made you want to go to China?
Well, I don't know. Since I was a kid, I always knew I was going to go to China.
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother. She had a lot of Asian art around, Asian tables, tables and vases and
from
and
dishes. Or
and, no, the real. She went there. I told her she went there. But it was all the real deal. No, she didn't go to China. I think she went to Japan. I don't know where it was. But it was
or Chinatown.
Yeah. But she had a lot of Asian art around and Asian artifacts around, and I don't know, something just drew me there. Actually, in my spirit, I just knew. In my heart, I would say, I'm going to go to China. I'm going to go to China. I didn't know where it was coming from, why I was going to do it, but I just knew in my heart that I was going to be in China.
Right.
And even in my prayer, I would always hear, pray for China, pray for China. Maybe I was preparing my way to get there.
Crazy.
But something in my heart told me I was going to be there.
And that started at like what age? Because that's a powerful thing to say.
About 5 or 6.
Wow.
When everybody's out playing, I'm like, China? Why is China in my head?
She said, Mama, what you want for dinner? Let me get some Chinese food.
Yeah, right, pretty much.
Right, no. But that's real. And so the fact that sometimes you feel a calling from that young, and I bring that up because I feel that a lot of people are just going with the flow, but they don't even have a flow. They're just, they're
a
going
lot
to
of
and
people
fro.
are stuck in a box.
Yeah.
Mom did it, Dad did it, Grandma did it, so I have to do it.
Right.
I just thank God that my mom let me be free to branch, and my little brother let us branch out and do our what we're called to do.
Yeah.
What our spirit's telling us to do, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're not everybody's designed to be a doctor, not everybody's designed to be a lawyer, not everybody's designed to be a business person.
Right.
I like the mechanic, I like the plumber.
Yeah.
If the toilet's overflowing, who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters. For sure.
But we need those people who follow their calling and follow their passion and follow what they're good at.
Yeah.
I'm not good at plumbing. And that would be a sad case if I just said, okay.
All I'm saying, because back over here we got a little Taco Bell 15 minutes and I'm there.
Exactly. So I just followed it took me a long time to get there, but as soon as I started, actually went to school. I was at a certain age, past my 40s, and I was like so tired of the everyday work day.
Right.
And I was like, this is I hate going to work. I hate being here. I don't even want to be here. I don't like the people. I don't even like driving to work. I'm crying going to work. That means people upset me.
How many people can relate?
And I just said, and I went to school. I said, let me just find something. And I went on there for nutrition.
Yeah.
So I went to school for nutrition. And they had an acupuncture class, and every bell in my body went off like boom, boom, boom. Like this is where I'm supposed to be. So I got out of that school and went to acupuncture school, and I've never been happier.
Crazy.
I've been happy, peaceful, calm, and I just said, you know what, Lord, if you're gonna have me do this is what I'm called to do. You will make it happen. Cause I'm gonna quit this job, and I'm gonna just trust totally in this. And He's kept me through so far.
I love that. I love that so much on so many different levels, because that's literally exactly what the brain stands for. Because. Again, as I mentioned to you, I used to work for a law firm for several years. Right. All my clients were, 80 plus years old. I was helping them plan their debts, and so many of them were not living the life they wanted to live. Because again, they were sticking in the box. Because my mom told me this, my dad told me this, or society is expecting me to do this. Yeah. So let me go through this, but you realize that you only have one life to live.
Exactly.
And if I don't do what I want to do in this life,
when are you going to do it?
And people don't realize that, and that's why I think I saw so many tears towards the end when I was finishing up the paperwork, because they were like, holy crap, this is really it. Like, he's really asking me who the house and who the car and who things go to, and then it's like finally hitting them as a realization. So
what have I done with my life? I had no fun. I did nothing I wanted to do. I did it because they told me to do it, because this group told me I should do it. I went to this gala or whatever. It's like, you're not even enjoying your life.
But that right there, and that's so powerful, again, on so many different levels, because of the fact that people are just, again, going through the motions, almost emotionless.
Yes.
Like you said, driving to work and, crying. And I think everyone's been there, where you just wake up and you're like, what am I doing? Then you realize, oh yeah, bills. I don't want to be homeless. You know what I mean?
Bills will be paid. Bills are always going to be there. That was my thing. I said, you know what? Bills are always going to be here.
Right.
They're going to either get paid or they're not going to get paid. Someone's going to lack this week.
Right.
But bills are always coming. So why not enjoy your life and pay the bills as they come.
Right.
And do you really need the Bentley? Can you ride a Toyota?
Man, here we go.
You know,
here we
do
go.
you have to have the best of the best, or can you just go with what works?
Yeah. See, and that's the beautiful thing about also traveling, right?
Yes.
Because when I went over to Laos, close by Thailand, I was realizing how happy these people are in the dirt. No, wait a minute. You don't have the brand new iPhone.
Exactly.
You don't have a brand new Mercedes. How are you happy? What's wrong with you? Don't you understand you're not supposed to be? And I'm like,
yes.
Wait a minute. Who's got this mixed up?
They're happy. I remember going to when I was in Colombia. I think I love it because I would watch the people. The people were so in love with each other. They were riding on their motorcycle, this couple, and they just to get off to go to work, they kissed so passionately and so lovingly.
While he was driving? That's okay.
When they got off the bike and said goodbye. And I was just like, wow, they really care about each other. And the people love each other, and the people were so loving, and it wasn't about stuff.
Yeah.
We are here the air conditioner's off. They're like, okay. But my family's here.
Yeah.
We have food on the table.
You see that?
We love each other. That's more important than the phone and the car and all this other stuff that we strive for and try to make money for. Yeah. And we lose it.
And again, so powerful in that regard, because I remember one of the last homes that I came to was a couple. They had every sports car you could think of in the driveway. They had a lake home in Lake Minnetonka, 1.4. They bought the 3 houses down the street for themselves and the 3 children, paid off, right? Mm-hmm. All the grandkids' colleges were already paid off ahead of time. And a couple $1 million liquid cash, a couple in investments, a couple in life insurance, and I'm looking like, man, you guys should be so proud of what you've done,
right.
And the wife's like, yeah, we worked so hard, respectfully, she was a stay-at-home mom. The man had worked for a law firm, but he didn't say anything. He was looking out the window, and just kind of you could see a man's trying to hold tears back from the side of his eye, and I was like, sir, I don't know if you heard what I said, but you should be super proud of what you've done. You've acquired all this money and all this wealth.
It's all stuff.
And he turns and he says, you know what? He's like, I would have taken a quarter of what I made if I could have made it the way I wanted to. He's like, I'm going to let you both finish the paperwork.
He didn't even have a life. He has money, but never had life.
That way, you got a bunch of money and no memories.
Yep.
Because you were working all the time. All the pictures that I saw in the refrigerator were really just him, the wife and the children, and the man was probably just sleeping.
Taking the pictures.
Or somewhere just working because. And right in that moment, I was probably 22, 23. I just looked around the house. I said, let me find out that you had slaved your whole life to get all these stupid things and keep you in this dumb house, and you didn't even live your life.
That's sad.
It is super sad.
Sad.
I felt bad for him because
we only get one life to live. When do we live it?
Now, and that's why I always say, I'm like, forever starts now.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yes.
There's the saying there's either day one or one day.
That's it.
And the unfortunate thing is that one day might never come because
tomorrow might come. A lot of times it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I ask my patients, how do you have fun? What is fun for you?
Right.
Or how do you relax? How do you rest? And they're like, what is that?
Isn't that crazy?
And they're like, I haven't had fun in so long. I haven't rested in so long. I was like, what are you doing with your life then?
He said, what
are you doing?
Right.
Because life should be fun.
Right.
We are not designed to work 24/7. We're not designed to get up and be stressed over work. We're designed to enjoy everything God created.
Man, you preach
the water, the trees, the birds, everything. We were designed to enjoy life.
So true.
We're not designed to go do a 9 to 5 or 9 to 12 and spend the whole day at work and not take care of your family and be with your family and eat with your family. We're not designed to do that.
And that's the thing. I think that people are just on this hamster wheel and they're not really.
And they don't know how to get off.
Right. And so I think that the big way to get off is to take a moment, evaluate your life, make an actual plan, and then execute on that plan in regards to actions. Like you said, you weren't happy somewhere. The only thing that was going to change you from not being happy is doing something that made you happy. But you couldn't have done both at the same time. So you had to take action, and that's what we keep pushing is that it might be scary, but you have to do it. Otherwise, no one's like, wait, how do we make Leslie's life better? Come on, let's all get together. We want to make sure she retires before this time.
It's not money. It's just before I moved. And I would take a week and a month just to get away from my everyday life, my routine life, just to say, I can breathe. And just to find, I like botanical gardens, I like the beach, I like just getting away, I like being in the, I just let me just take this weekend and enjoy
so true.
everything God created instead of just sitting up there what do we do this week and just do the same routine? No, let's just get out of routine.
Yeah, love that.
You know, often I ask my patients when they can't think of what fun is, like, what did you do as a child that was fun? And some people can't even remember that far back when they had fun.
That's painful. Or like even laughing. People, like, I laugh all the time. Every day we talk about how we clown around. Hence why I spent like the majority of my childhood in the corner. But it don't matter, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't better than nobody.
She talks too much.
But funny enough, even with that, every time, again, the notes stuck to my, my shirt, talking about, he talks too much in class. And I'm like, Mom, she don't like me because I'm black. She's like, Miss Jackson's black. I'm like, good point, you made it. But the crazy thing is the fact that I make my entire living from speaking.
Go figure.
Crazy.
And I speak to people all day long.
Yeah, and then again, but in school, I was in all the slow classes.
Yes.
I felt like I wasn't good enough.
Yes.
I felt like I wasn't smart.
Yes.
And by I'm like, well, these people are in charge and they're holding the standard and they're telling me I'm not good. What does that do to a person's self-esteem?
About feeling like,
I felt like, well, it's just delaying the inevitable because I'm going to be a failure because I'm failing at these standardized tests. So if I'm not good at these, then I must not be good at life. How wrong would it be?
Big time.
Right.
The sad part about it is they're still doing these tests, and like I said, not everybody can put in a box. We want to put everybody in America in a box.
Right.
And everybody has to conform to this test, and not everybody's designed to take these tests.
Right.
I'm a very visual person. If you have something outside and you can read all day long, but if I see it, I'll never forget it.
Right.
And if I could, if you put it in like a competition kind of situation, I'm gonna excel and beat you every time. I don't care who you are.
And funny enough, you had mentioned that situation with your teacher, right? In the Jeopardy thing.
Yeah.
You mind explain that really quick?
Okay, so I had a teacher that would have me we would play Jeopardy, and I would just sit there. I mean, I got all the answers right playing Jeopardy, but taking tests, I'm not very good at taking tests. I'm not gonna lie. I get nervous. Everything just leaves my head. Right. But if you put it in a game situation, a game setting, I will beat you every single time. I don't care what it is, because I'm very competitive.
We're gonna play Connect 4 after this.
Okay. And I would get all the answers just like it just came to me. But sitting on taking a test at a desk, that's not my style.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am an acupuncturist. I failed the easiest test twice, and you only get 3 times to take it.
Ooh.
The first time I went in, I had an audit at work, and I was like, oh, y'all get it late, and I didn't get to reschedule it. Yeah. When the second time, I was like, oh yeah, whatever, and then I just got so nervous. I looked at the screen, I was like, I don't even know what this is. It was like a foreign language to me.
Crazy.
So
technically.
Yeah. But but I'm still very good at what I do. But if they had this test in a situation where I get it and not just on computer, I would ace it the first time, even with the company audit, because that's how I learn. That's how I retain. And just like a lot of kids nowadays, they don't retain because it's not their lane.
Right.
They're like on the highway over here, and you guys on the country road.
Right.
The kid on the highway, he likes to see things flying and flashing, and he could be it could be music. A lot of kids nowadays learn through music. They learn through art.
The alphabet is A, B, C, twinkle, twinkle.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it helps with the memory. And funny enough, you mentioned with the music, because that is how I've learned. Like I had to turn things into songs. But even for all of us, we're all individual. We all learn in different ways. It's almost like a new vehicle. We all have to figure out how your body works.
Right.
Otherwise, you're gonna go through life feeling like you're stupid.
Exactly.
But
you're not. And I think I looked at my mom is highly intelligent, my dad is highly intelligent, and my grandfather said, you're the best. Whatever it is, you're the best. So I thank God they instilled that in me.
That's so awesome.
And you're not a failure. You are the best at everything you do. And he made sure you're going to be the best. You are. And he would speak that over me, and I'm like, I'm the best. Who are you talking to? I'm the best.
I'm the best!
But he kept that. Thank God he did that, because now in my back of my head, they could say this, but in the back of my head, my granddaddy's saying, you're the best.
That's so true.
You're the best.
That's so amazing.
And it's amazing how the words of your parents and grandparents will change you.
It is.
And hold you and make you the person you are today. Because if they're going to tell you you're a failure, you're something negative, that's what you're going to be.
Sometimes you manifest that.
Yes, exactly. Because, so my parents, they think I'm like that, then I must be like real failure.
Well, the crazy thing is, like I mentioned to you, my dad's a pastor, right? And I constantly remember that one verse where it's saying that, faith comes by hearing.
And hearing by the word of God.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, especially if your parents are speaking, guess what? Life and death is in the what?
Power of the tongue.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So you're either speaking life over your kids, or you're speaking death over your kids. You're speaking life over your relationship, or you're speaking death over your relationship.
Look at jobs. People look at what you do with your life. A lot of people I see nowadays, all they do is speak about the disease. I have this, and one thing. The disease is not yours. It is a spirit, first of all. Don't say my this, my. Exactly. It is not yours. It is a disease and that you're dealing with. Don't claim it on you, because that's going to make it worse and go deeper inside.
And then you accept it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I just say, kidney stone. I don't say this is my kidney stones. I have a kidney stone issue, but it's not mine.
There we go.
I don't claim all that. None of mine. But it's got to go.
I don't know who's
I mean, it put me through it, but it had to go, and I'm not going to claim it. Yeah. And your words are very powerful. What you speak over your body, what you speak over your mind, what you speak over your life, that's what you're going to receive. I tell my patients, what you're living now is what you spoke in the past. What you speak now is what you're going to live in the future. So you might want to speak life over your body instead of death over your body. Because you only get this one body. This is all you get.
Yeah.
There's not a, unless you're a clone, then there's other ones. Right. Other than that, you only get this one body and this one go round.
And that's so true. And you know, even my dad would always be speaking life over his children, but even for himself, like, I'm going to live long and strong. And, you know, now he's 84. We're about to go over to Africa next month, you know, and, but he's as sharp as ever right now. And that's like kind of scary to me when I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm like, you're sharper than me. Even at the, you know what I mean? Like,
you eat real food though too,
which is a great thing. I mean, we can go into
that.
That,
whole
right?
Other podcast.
Yeah, right. No. But even in regards to claiming things, right? There's 44 million people in America right now that deal with anxiety. And people always say, my anxiety. What did you just mention that about anxiety?
Anxiety is all rooted in fear. And I ask people, why are you so fearful? And I said, what are your fears? When they say they're coming in for anxiety, and I said, what are your fears? And they said, I don't have any fears. I said, if you're anxious, then you have fear somewhere. Your fear is what's going to happen in the future. If you have depression, you're afraid of something that's happened in the past. So you need to deal with the fears that you're facing, or start facing them some way or another, and express it and get it out of you, because something's rooted in there in fear that you're afraid of and you're not facing. And once it's out, the anxiety goes. So when people start addressing their fears, addressing what's wrong with them, and addressing their past, a lot of people will come in and, I don't have any issues, but everybody has something happen in their past.
So it'll be like, I'm not, they always say I'm not afraid of something, and then you're like,
everybody is.
You're like, come on now.
Everybody's dealt with something that they're like, and it puts a wall up. And from that wall, there's roots of fear. I'll never let that happen again. That's just how the human body is.
Right.
And here we are telling them, I don't have any fears, nothing's wrong with me, I'm okay. No, something's wrong, let's deal with it. Let's bring it out. And if you have to talk to somebody, just talk to I'll be glad to talk to you if you want to talk, but I just have people sit there and talk. I had one patient, she said, I don't want needles, I just want to talk. I said, you're still paying the same price, but that's okay.
she said, okay, no problem. What's up?
But she heard she needs to get it off of her.
And that's real, because sometimes that hurts more than any physical pain.
Exactly.
The fact that there's unsettlingness in your side, that you're not aligned with yourself. And I always talk about being in alignment with your assignment.
Exactly.
Because I think there's a discord, obviously the Bible does talk about like being equally yoked. In our minds, we always talk about that with other people.
Right.
Sometimes you're not even equally yoked
with yourself. Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because you're living one thing and you're speaking another thing, and in the back of your mind something else is happening. Just get it right.
Right. But
just be real.
And so you're living multiple lives.
Yes.
But you just said keep it real.
Keep it real.
And going back to Keep It Real Teal, which I'll present right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go ahead and grab that as well as the tracksuits. But it's real in regards to some people are everything in life except for themselves.
Pretty much. They're a mask for, I'm a mask for this person here, I'm a mask at work, I'm a mask at home, I'm a mask with my friends, I'm a mask with my teammates, I'm a mask. That's exhausting. Nobody knows who they really are.
Even actors.
Yes. Oh my goodness,
get time to stop acting.
Exactly.
And so, it's so funny. To a certain point, I remember saying to my brother, he's like, I know you want to be a movie actor someday. And I was like, I said, I'm an actor, all right. I was like, I go to work and I act like I care.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm on this. I don't even like y'all no way. He's like, I'm on this reoccurring role of this show called Life.
Exactly.
And they brought me on for season 13 already.
Exactly.
So I just keep going. But it's like, at some point you got to stop. Like, I would hope that you have the gift, that you give yourself the gift of being you. Right?
Yes,
because,
sure.
like you mentioned, you have a gift. Like, how many people have you been able to bless over the years because you actually followed through and you just didn't want to go to McDonald's and be the head fry cook because it was the easy and safe thing to do.
And everybody told you need to start at McDonald's to make. You got to start working somewhere. Who started and stated that work has to be at an institution? Why can't I just go out and go out in the yard and do something? Why do I have to go to McDonald's? Why do I have to go to somewhere else's place? Why can't I start my own business cutting grass?
But whatever you're passionate about, right? And so for me, even with, I've been working for firms for, again, the last 13, 14 years, you know what I mean? Like, broke all these records and all these things like that. But I've been able to help people, which is a blessing. But my real passion is fashion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's what you're doing now with it.
And that's what I'm saying. And so in college, I was a theology major. And my dad is like, God really wants you to focus on theology. And I'm thinking logically, trying to over logic the Lord, like, no, but where's the money gonna come from? And what job am I gonna get after college?
Right.
And again, anxiety, because I'm thinking about the future in that regard. And even again, the Bible mentioning in Matthew where it's like, do not worry about tomorrow. Every day has enough trouble on its own. You know what I mean? But some people, it's even scary to be that free, right? Even for me to deprogram myself to be like, you know what? Business at the end of the day is just simply, I have something that somebody else wants, and we're able to trade.
Exactly.
But I bring that up because I was a theology major. I tried to like sneak and take a business class. I failed out of that so quick.
Yeah, what you supposed to get out of here? Like, get out of here.
Oh, I'm just kidding. You wiped that off my resume? Okay, cool. But the fact of the matter is that I've excelled at business for the last decade plus, but no one taught me that. That's why you know there's certain gifts that you have that are in there that you play towards. I enjoy speaking, if you couldn't tell. I enjoy fashion, but I also enjoy the feeling that I get when I put new clothes on. So if I can make other people feel that way with the proper message, and that's a win.
Definitely.
You know, so I'm glad that things have been able to take off. But again, to your point, it's like, why do you have to start something else? Why can't you? You know, like that we always think someone else's ice is colder. It's like, no, like.
Exactly. Why don't you be the fire?
Right.
Just light something up and keep on going. So many people a lot of people are afraid to succeed. And a lot of people a lot of wealthy people I know are afraid to be rich, to be honestly. They have a poverty mentality inside of them, but yet they have money. Does that make sense? Then a lot of people, they're afraid to succeed and say, oh, if I do that, what if I make too much money? I was like,
isn't that crazy though?
I don't understand that mentality. Because if I make too much, I'm going to give it to help somebody out. If I see you with a need, I'm going to be there to help you. Why take away what God gifted you to have if you're not supposed to use it? We're not designed to be poor and broken, because everybody on this planet has a choice to be, you know, rich or poor.
For sure.
And it's what you do with it that makes a difference. If you're going to sit there and be on the corner drinking and smoking weed or whatever.
Hey, stop talking about my life.
Okay. But if you're going to go out, hey, that person on the corner, let me help you get some clothes, get some food, get some groceries, that's a whole different ballgame right there.
For sure.
You have to have money to do something.
Absolutely.
I remember I did a sermon, what was it? It was about who is your neighbor and why God needs you to prosper. How can you take care of your neighbor if you don't have money? If your neighbor has a need and you have no money, what good is that?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but again, a big part of that also plays into your giftings. You know, what you had mentioned earlier on was the fact that you have a gifting for speaking, but then ironically, one of your peers.
This is not easy for me.
Isn't that crazy?
Not even close.
You wouldn't even. You wouldn't. I was like, oh no, dude, let's get a doctor. Wait, you a doctor? Help yourself. I was like, ooh, too deep. Okay, I'm like, what? I gotta go. No, but it's again the irony that the thing that you're supposed to do sometimes is the thing that scares you the most.
Yes, that's when you know it's for you to do. When you're at a point where I'm so scared, jump over that cliff and just do it. Man. You know, I don't really like talking, but somehow I do the eulogies at the funerals at home. I'm the one talking at presentations or whatever. I was like, who does this? Why am I even doing this? The Lord had me to start doing Lesley talks on my Instagram, and He said, you need to start talking to people. People need to hear what you have to say. Right. And I was like, I don't even know what to say, first of all, and I don't like talking in front of people.
You said, let me tell you something about me, God. If you know so much, Mr. All-Knowing.
And that's how I was feeling. And a lot of people have come back and said, man, what you said was right on. So it's what I needed. It's like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to do this. Right. And I think I'm joking around, but a lot of people take it, and it's like, I was like, man, that healed me so much.
Of course.
I remember I used to be the head of I did the payroll for the people. And I used the little notes on the checks. And I remember putting something on there, and one guy came up to me, he said, what you wrote in there saved my life, because I was going to kill myself. And I was like, I'm going to cry now, so hold on. Yeah. So he was saying that what you wrote kept me from killing myself. I was like, wow. It's like something so simple to communicate with people. Yeah. Just the little things that we think are insignificant is what's going to keep someone alive or change their life. And we hold back. And the Lord's like, no, don't hold back. This is why I need you to go over the edge and do this, because people need to hear what you have to say.
People are counting on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, counting on your gift. You know what I mean?
And I would have never thought it was, but when I get responses like that, I'm like, wow. Yeah. Okay, let me get out of myself and do what the Lord tells me to do.
And that part right there, again, so powerful, right? Because sometimes you have to think about more than yourself.
Exactly.
The world is so focused on just you, but the fact of the matter is that there's like, again, we are our brother's keeper. You know, whether you or not, and my gift will be able to shine on you and help you, and yours will be able to help me in that regard. And that was a major part of the brand as well. Right. You know, there's a chapter in the book that is entitled "If You're Reading This Right Now," and that was the first time that I'd genuinely thought about suicide, because I had just lost everything in California. We had attempted our dreams, everything fell apart. I'm driving back 32 hours by myself, too broke to even get a motel. I remember falling asleep at the wheel and hitting the guardrail, which is the orange, and then like a dark thought just finally came over to me. It's like, hey, you got nothing to go back to.
Wow.
You know, you've already messed things up. You've already ruined your dreams. Everyone's gonna make fun of you where you go back right now. You're gonna be sleeping on your friend's mom's couch, inconveniencing them. It's like, you just messed everything. It's just better if you just go. And I'm looking through the canyon when I'm like over in Vegas and realizing there's not guardrails on every part. I was like, and if I go off, people might just think that I fell asleep, you know? And so I'm so grateful, obviously, that I was able to snap myself out of that in that moment. But a lot of people don't have that.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And so what people don't realize is that there's over 800,000 people that commit suicide every year. 800,000 people. So that's someone mathematically every 10 minutes.
Sadly, yes.
That's crazy.
And the thing about it is, those are the ones who succeeded. But there are a whole lot more that have that thought. Man, why am I even here? Well, I'm just off myself. They don't need me. I think everybody on this planet has had that feeling.
Of course.
But and some tried to act on it, and some succeeded. But we need to reach those people before they get to the point to be a statistic. We need to reach those people. No, you're valuable. You're worth it. We need you here.
You matter.
Your voice, yes, exactly. Your voice is what someone else needs in this world. I may not be me, it may not be whoever. But you are important. And people need to realize and help people. You know. The people that look like they have it together most are the ones you need to check on the most, because they're the ones that are hurting and hiding behind a pain, a fear that they're not dealing with, and they need to get it out and express it. If you're be that friend to say, hey, I'm just checking on you, is everything okay? Oh yeah, everything's good. But that little call right there could have changed their life. 1,000%. They could have had a gun to their head, and that phone call ringing could have been like, wow, thanks for calling me. They may not ever tell you, but years down the line, they may say, what your call was right on time, so I was ready to off myself.
1,000%. And so one of the podcasts that I did have on here was my producer's mom, and I remember being in California. I'd run out of food. We were about to get evicted. All these things, and I remember it was like 2 days almost where I didn't like eat. You're not even thinking properly. You know what I mean? And I remember when I was a kid, I heard that one Tupac song. He said, "My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a bird to snatch." And you know, I'm a child, so I'm like eating every day. So I'm like, no, why would someone ever do that? You know? And then I'm at that point where I'm a grown man, and no one's here to save me. And I just remember being like, I'm just gonna rob somebody. And I remember really grabbing his key. This is just so real, and Parker's mom knows this as well. But I was just about to walk out the door, and I was like, it was the irony of praying like, God, please don't let this person put up a fight, because I'm not losing. You know what I mean? And I was like, and I need this right now. And right when I was about to open the door, Parker's mom called me. She said, hey baby, I'm gonna just send you some money. I'm like, man, just broken down. I was like, I'm at the lowest point in my life. I can't even believe I was thinking about doing that. I was like, Mom, you don't even understand what you just, did. And
God's still watching you.
Always.
He still sees every situation. That's why a lot of people need to go back to the Lord, I would think, because you think you're in this hole, but He's right here. Let me pull you out. He always has someone there to pull you out. I mean, I've been through so many things where I'm just like, it can be nobody but God helping me. And I'm just like, wow, how did that even happen? Even through COVID, I was just like, man, how am I still paying bills? And how am I bills still? I'm like, Jesus, thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Right? But people get so low, but they don't realize, just wait that moment. Because there's always going to be someone to give you help you out, a helping hand.
And then also lessons.
A listening ear,
But then also, it's also a shaping of character.
Definitely.
Definitely.
That was your test.
1,000%, because people were like, man, you were so low. Like, you didn't do any drugs, you didn't drink during that time. And I was like, no, that's why I know for myself that no matter how low things go, I'm able to keep my word to myself. And I think that's a powerful place to be, but you'll never get there if you don't allow life to take its process. And sometimes life might be a mess, but I'm so grateful that if you keep living, your mess can turn into a message.
And look how many lives you changed just from going through that.
I'm so grateful.
Things I went through, thank God I went through that, because I'm helping someone who else is trying to go through it again. I said, no, let me tell you what I did, how I got through. I think we are here to, everything we go through, I think is for somebody else. I think everything we experience in life is not for us, but it's to help somebody in the future not go through what we went through.
Very true.
We're supposed to learn this lesson. Oh my God, why is this even happening? Because someone down the road is going to need your wisdom and knowledge. Because especially nowadays, you're just getting garbage on TV, on the internet, or whatever. They need human contact. They need human words. They need human interaction.
And also realness.
Exactly.
Right? Because like all this, everything's fine all the time. Like that gentleman again. rest his soul, but Twitch, right?
Yes.
He's on TV, smiling all the time, dancing all the time. He's doing TikToks for the fish. He did a TikTok the day that he passed away.
Exactly.
Something's not right, and so that's the importance, at least to me, of being really you, be true to you,
real,
right?
real.
Yeah. You might not be able to quote unquote be you and then have all these glamorous things at that time. And guess what? It's okay.
It's okay to have nothing. It's okay not to have the best car, the iPhone. It's okay to have a flip phone.
But I'm ready to go back to a
flip phone. I'm ready to go back to a flip phone.
Not me, but
no,
I had that razor though. But just the power of being grateful, right? Because guess what?
Yes.
I know miserable millionaires.
Oh, for sure. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? There's so many people that I've worked with. They're like, man, I wish I had what you had. I was like, what you look at this? You got your house is two of mine to fit in yours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. And he's like, you have peace. You are so calm and you have so much peace and so much love and happiness. I wish I had that. And they're like, all I got is money. I was like, wow, that's sad.
It is sad. Someone said that some people are so poor that all they have is money.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It was an ancient African proverb, but the gentleman was mentioning, he's like, money can buy you a bed, but it can't buy you rest.
That's right.
Money can buy you an expensive watch, but it can't buy you time.
That's it.
It can buy you a house, but it can't buy you a home.
Yeah.
And it just went down the line in regards to it can't buy you love, it can't buy you true friendship or loyalty.
Exactly.
You
find money, a lot of fake friends when you find out you have money.
You know what I'm saying? It's like so money. So the fact that I can be your genuine friend, that was one of the. I'm so grateful for that season when I lost everything.
Exactly.
Then that's where
real.
Parker. Yeah, exactly. My best friend Parker and his mom. When I'd be sleeping on her couch, she'd wake me up. She's like, "Good morning, King," and my beard's all crazy, my hair's all, and I'm like.
Who's she talking?
That right there. I'm talking about.
Looking around
like tears in my heart because I'm just like, I don't know who you talking to. I was like, that ain't me. And she's like,
no, she was there for you.
Man, like till this day, it's just it's everything. Just and she always and I'll put her story up as well. But she doesn't sometimes feel like she's done so much because she's also been through so much, and she's battled so much. With certain addictions and things like that, but the fact that and I always tell her, I was like, you didn't give me birth, but you gave me life.
Exactly.
Exactly. And because I was dead at that time, and it says a man's spirit is what sustains him in sickness. Sometimes you're mentally sick.
Definitely.
At that time, I was done. I remember losing everything and waking up or going to sleep that one night and being like, God, if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'd be mad at you.
Yeah.
It's like the world's probably running out of air. You don't even need mine. Just go ahead and just take me and wake up the next morning and be like, fuck!
Why am I? What you doing?
I'm like, you ain't hear me? You ain't hear me?
Aren't you in prayer answer?
Man, I'm trying to get up out of here.
But look what legacy she put in you.
Yeah.
I mean, just for her saying, "Good morning, King."
Yeah.
Who
at her lowest point.
Yeah. And she's dealing with something hard herself and life herself, and yet she's instilling this in you.
Yeah.
And look what she brought.
Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Just those words alone brought you to where you are today.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like you said, life and death is in the what?
Power of the tongue.
And so you can speak life back into somebody. It costs you nothing.
Exactly.
To be like, hey, I really like your shirt. Just even that.
Exactly.
We'll stay with someone for years.
Yes.
And one day I doesn't like my shirt. Or hey, listen, you got a really great smile. It takes you nothing. Sometimes I'll just purposely go on IG and just leave positive comments on other people's things.
Instead of when you read through everybody's so mean and nasty, I was like, why don't you just say something nice?
That could be the teetering between someone giving up on the business, and again, you might not have to buy from the business. You can't buy from every business, but man, what's an encouraging word? What's a share of someone's post like, hey, I think this is really really a cool sweater or whatever.
Exactly.
and you did that for me, and I appreciate that as well.
That's life's all about.
But it's like just those little things of encouragement. Maybe I do got something.
My grandfather said, you always find something nice about everybody. I don't care what you may hate the person, just like, you got nice socks.
That sure is a nice butcher knife. Look at that. You stab people more than anybody.
Find something nice. Even you may not even like them. They may grind your nerves, but find something nice.
Yeah.
You say you look good in this weather, or just something out of the blue. But you don't have to be so. Don't carry that hate and anger in you.
Yeah.
Because for you to say that to someone else, that's it really deep inside of you. What you're harboring is what you're putting out to other people.
Yeah.
So just say something nice. Hey, I like your socks.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your tie. Just be out of the blue. It doesn't have to be. Oh, I love you. So no, just say something nice.
100%. And so the challenge to everyone out there is, every day find at least 5 people that you can compliment. Not that you're waiting for a compliment back, like nice smile, and you're like.
That's the thing with social media. We're so fake. And just be real.
Yeah.
You just keep everything real. We're so
Yeah.
fake. Look at my selfie. Look at so, but in the background, your heart is torn up.
Man,
You
what?
want to sit there and cry, but here you are smiling on the selfie, and you're miserable.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Get your life together.
Yeah.
You don't even need to post a selfie. People don't even know your business. Just
Right.
get your life together.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life and keep your life real.
Yeah.
Not for anybody. Nobody cares. Just do it for you.
Yeah. So you just mentioned something really interesting in regards to that you were treated better as a black person over
Yes.
in China
Yes.
than you were
In my own
in
country.
your own country, and you grew up in Ohio, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me
yes.
about what that was like during that time, because you know, obviously the Klan is still rampant,
Yes,
and
yeah. Well, yeah. It's still rampant. It's just not. It's just hidden more.
right,
And
but it wasn't hidden back then.
They're outwardly. You know, I think it was 75. You drive down 75, and there's this big farm. They had the Confederate flag painted on their roof, and they had a burnt cross. And I was like, dang.
Crazy.
I was like, dang, Lord, what is wrong with these people?
Just let y'all know.
Yeah, but I think that's why my grandfather said, you're better. You're better. And he would always have us above. He would always have us above racism. I don't think I ever heard my grandfather curse. I don't think I've ever heard him speak bad about anything. But he except the government. He said, whatever you do, don't trust the government. But he made us learn how to love instead of hate, and he would show love more so than hate. There was, like I was explaining to you, there was a gentleman across the tracks. He was white, and he hated my grandfather. He called him every name in the book, and my grandfather.
And this is a Caucasian.
Yes, and called my grandfather every name in the book, and my grandfather just walked in love. And when the Depression hit, and this gentleman didn't have any money, and he didn't have any means to make money, get food or anything, pay his bills. My grandfather said he took groceries over and left them on the porch, and this guy hated my grandfather, calling him every kind of end you can imagine, and my grandfather still did it. And but afterwards he's like, you were so nice to me. Not even my own family or my own friends took care of me like you did, and I hate you.
He's like, I hate your black.
And he only hated him because of the color of his skin, but once he knew how loving my grandfather was, he had to come to love him.
Yeah.
Love is the most powerful force on this planet. And I don't care what color you are, I don't care what you're dealing with, love is going to overcome everything and defeat the hatred, the racism.
So, the fear.
Yeah, and it's a fear. I mean, growing up in Ohio, I mean, you dealt with racism too. And I went to a predominantly white school, and people were like, no. It was still there. Racism was still there. I mean, I still had a lot of good friends and everything, but the racism was still there. Yeah. And I could tell you some stories, but I don't think we have time. I remember I was driving.
Round two, she will be back. Don't even worry about it.
I remember driving down the street, and my car stopped and it stalled, and this guy got out of the car. I was like, Jesus, he had the beard, like ZZ Top kind of guy. Yeah. I was like, Jesus, this is my time to go, because he was walking to my car, and I'm just like, okay, Lord, and I'm in the backwoods, and I really thought he was gonna kill me, because he was a white man and I was a black female and stuck in the car. He came back and fixed my car, took me to the gas station, gave me gas. He said, if you need anything else, here's my number and I'll help you out. Crazy. I was like, and the fear that's in our head of just the color of your skin, and I even had it back then when I was this guy coming up, walking down around my car. I was like, you okay, man? I was like, Jesus.
With the mentality.
It's my time.
Hell. No.
But there's a lot of racism there, and it's sadly that racism is just a fear. It's a fear of the unknown. It's a fear of, I don't even know your culture. I don't know you. I don't know, because I've heard all this other stuff that black people are like this.
But again, it goes back to imagination.
Yes. And people are so scared, almost scared of that black person. You know what? Like when I was in China, I was treated better as a black person there than I was in my own country. When I was in China, I got lost actually in Shanghai. Don't ever do that.
My things to do list, but now.
So I got lost, and I was walking around and just looking around. People would ask me, come eat, come eat. I was like, wow. I was like, are you sure? And I talked to a few people, and I was on the subway one time. The lady said, can I just talk to you? I was like, okay. Yeah. But here I am talking to people that didn't judge me by the color of my skin. They wanted to get to know me more, so instead of ostracize me, they're like, no, you're black, don't come near me. But they were drawing me in and trying to get to know me. That's our problem here. Is instead of getting to know people, we want to put a fear in our kids, a fear in our grandkids, saying, don't talk to black people, don't talk to white people, don't talk to Asian people. Let the kids get to know each other, and see who they really are.
Yeah, because otherwise you're also going to miss out on so many great people.
Yes.
So many of the greatest people that I have in my life do not have the same hue of skin as me.
Exactly. And you're missing out on culture.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on food, especially.
Yeah. You said more than anything. Forget all that other stuff, politics, but the food, okay? That's what I got to.
But it's true. I mean, you go to different cultures. You don't look at their skin, because it's a culture that makes a person.
For sure.
A culture that makes a community, a city, a state, a nation.
Yeah.
I mean, I love New Orleans. If you go to New Orleans, it's the food, but the people.
Yeah.
They have nothing but love for everybody.
Yeah.
They don't see black people, they don't see white people, they don't see orange people, they just see people.
Yeah.
And they don't care who they marry, they just marry people. And here it's like, you got that right on there, you can't marry him.
And how much money do you make?
Exactly.
And what kind of wedding can you give me?
Exactly. And that's the word. Instead of, don't you love this person? You're just worried about how much money they got, and then they don't love you.
That's just called business.
Pretty much. Well, I know some people that they married into a lot of money, but they got abused.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you even do that? Because he has whatever, and they come back with the black eyes. Like, it wasn't worth it. It's like, come on, no.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the fear of not making it in society.
Yeah.
In society's eyes, I made it because I married this so-and-so person, but yet he's beating you up every night.
So, and that's what I'm saying, and so you're really not truly fulfilled. And so, even as we, close out, what words of advice would you, what words would you give to someone who, like you mentioned, is possibly driving to work every day, miserable, crying, they're not in the place that they want to be, like, so they can get, the happiness and the peace that people always compliment you for having?
Mine is Jesus, to be honest with you. I trust in God for everything, and he's never failed me. And I don't know, a lot of people don't believe in Jesus, they don't want to hear about him, but at the end of the day, when it's you got in the videotape, you're going to have to look at him and look at God and say, okay, what am I doing here?
Right.
But mine is, God has got me through so much, even from when I was a kid. There's some incidents that my parents didn't even know about, but I knew God got me through it and kept me alive.
Yeah.
And that's stay focused, stay positive, but the Lord has brought me through so much, and I can't even be here and live my life without him, because without him I am nothing. And I've been teaching one of my kids. I was like, well, I call her my daughter. Yeah. I was teaching her about the currency of the future is going to be fake. You're going to have to learn how to trust God, because there's going to come a time when the government collapses, when the money collapses, when everything collapses.
And what I just talked about right now with the government possibly collapsing,
pretty much. Like, they're going to close the government.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but there's going to come a time where the only thing you have is trust God for your food, for your well-being, for everything. And I've had that for years, and I thank God for it, because he's got me through. But for the people who don't believe in a God, just start speaking right. Speak positive words. Speak life words. Speak life, and not death over your situation.
That's real.
And be real.
Yeah.
One of my friends said, you just keep it real. And just be real with yourself. Be real with others. If once you're real, everything else is going to start to fall into place.
Go for frequencies. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Go for your dreams. If you have a dream, do it. Walk in it. Don't be hindered by what someone else says, what someone else does, how much money it's going to make or not make.
Yeah.
Just go for what makes you happy, what makes you alive. Why am I up this morning? Do something that makes you alive to be up this morning, and enjoy your day, and be strong in you. And don't quit trying to please people. Get off of social media and quit trying to please people and be fake, and just please you. Enjoy your life and the peace you had. Look for peace.
Right.
If it doesn't bring you peace, don't do it. Just walk in another direction till you find your peace, because when you have peace, that's when you know when you're in the right lane. So that's I don't know if I answered your question or not.
No, you absolutely did. You know what I mean? Like, again, like you mentioned, your foundation has been Jesus, which is a blessing. And again, for those who have been like, oh, I just don't want to believe in Jesus or anything. But, hey, fully understand. My whole thing is the fact that for anyone in life, I'm not going to tell you what to believe or what to trust. I just know that I had a ton of my friends try all these different drugs.
Pretty much.
I'm just saying, if you want to try things, try everything then, right? So, because eventually something's going to lead you over there. I would say try Jesus before drugs, but
he'll keep you from that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but I don't know. I've lived a pretty great and incredible life. Haven't had to ever drink. Haven't had to ever do any drugs, and it's definitely been a blessing in my life. And I definitely give that to Jesus. Like, it's just the fact of the matter.
He's great. Even if you do drink or do drugs, he's going to help you through it.
Right.
He's going to love you through it all.
But I've also realized that I don't need to do a lot of those things that I've watched a lot of my other friends have to do, because they're ultimately trying to fill a void in their life. That's why they buy a lot of these things or do a lot of those things, unfortunately. And it's like, I could probably save you 40 years of your life of pain and
maybe they're afraid to be saved.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I think sometimes, people feel like they're going to give things up, but I feel like I have a great life,
You won't give it up. That actually makes it better. And if you do give it up, he's gonna make what you thought was so you had to hold on to. He's gonna make everything so much better.
And that's real. And I can't speak for everyone. I can just speak for my life.
Exactly.
And I just know what's brought
Exactly.
me. Like you said,
Exactly.
through so many insane times. I feel like I'm a pretty knowledgeable person. You know,
Yeah.
or like I'm a, like just easily swayed. Like, oh, let's do this. Let's do this. It's like if it wasn't working for my life, then it probably wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? It's like because no one's forced me not to do it.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is that I'm really happy, like genuinely happy.
Yes.
Whether people are around or not. Whether Instagram's on it, like I'm happy.
I can go to
to
a restaurant and sit there and be so happy and content. Go to a movie by myself and be so happy.
Yeah.
That's like you don't need all the extra.
That's what genuine joy is.
Yes.
And that's what I think that the world is actually missing which is why they're trying to fill things up with so many other things like just to get through the day. Yeah.
It's like people do cocaine after that first hit. You're just trying to get that high again, and you'll never get there.
And then that's the trick where people are able to get to overdose, and I've had so many friends overdose. It's like I remember especially from 2020 on, me and my dad were burying our friends at the same rate.
Wow.
And that's really sad to say because he's again 84.
Exactly.
I'm 50 years younger than that, and it's like why would we be going to just the same amount of funerals for our friends?
Exactly.
So I appreciate everything that you've shared today. I think there's so much wisdom. You absolutely will, if you bless us again, we'll be back because there's so much more to go into. You have so much knowledge. I appreciate who you've been. I also appreciate you going against and fighting your fear even today to come and do something that you don't feel the most comfortable with, but I know that you have a heart for people.
Yes.
So you're looking at the bigger picture of who could be blessed by this.
Yes, for sure.
And on behalf of the Forever Fearless family and those people that are listening, thank you so much for all that you've done.
Having me.
Yeah, and for what you stand for. And to everyone out there, as we always mention, be brave, be bold, be fearless. Love you. We're out.